Solely.
Labour Party is our own. Labour Party is our party. Nigeria go better when Labour Party comes in rule. Labour Party, forward never. Forward never. Backward never. Thank you so much. May you have your seat, please.
I'm very happy today that we are here to unveil our vice presidential candidates. People had thought we will not be able to attain this. And I'm happy today that what they thought was not possible have become possible. And this is a clear message to those who have held the country hostage, that they should begin to note that the time is up. The ruling oligarchy in Nigeria that have held those hostage over the years must begin to get the notice that it's no longer business as usual. The time of the people has come. The people's movement has come. It is time for the people of Nigeria to be liberated from hunger, from poverty, from unemployment, from insecurity, and bad governance. And that is what is playing out today. I must say clearly that Our Excellency has made it very, very clear that he's going to make the country, he's going to move the country from being a consumption country to a production country. The credentials, the behavior, the antecedents of our presidential candidate is very, very obvious. It's unparalleled. And therefore, you need a vice presidential candidate that will be able to measure up to this. Comrade Peter Obi cannot do it alone. He needs people like himself. He needs men and women of credibility, men and women of dignity, result-oriented men, men with innovative ideas to change the narratives of the country. And that is why we quietly went into a search to look for such person to be vice presidential candidate. And in line with our promise to Nigerians that we are going to bring the finest northerner, a Muslim, a philanthropist, a man of many paths, to be the vice president have gone, and today we have succeeded. There is no gainsaying the fact that the man we are presenting will complement our presidential candidate. Today is not a day for long speech, but to present to Nigerians that we have the best material to pilot the affairs of this country to where it ought to be. I have maintained before, and I will reiterate, that the problem of the country is leadership inflicted. Nigerians are suffering from insecurity, hunger, unemployment, name it, because of failed and bad leadership, clueless leadership. And that is the narrative that we want to change. And the people that we have on board, no doubt, will take Nigeria to that promised land. Amen. The people themselves have seen it, and that's why they have keyed into the project. The mood of the country is clear. The people have pointed where they want to be in 2023, and I'm very, very happy about the mood of the people. Bob Marley says, you can fool the people or sometime, You can't fool them. So the time of the people has come. It is not in my place to unveil the vice presidential candidates. It is the constitutional responsibility of the president to announce his running mate. I therefore have the honor and privilege this morning to invite the incoming president of Nigeria.
Labour Party!
Forward ever!
Forward ever! Forward ever!
Please be seated. Recognize all the dignitaries that are here, especially our two sisters, two ministers, one minister. Minister is just minister is minister. People say senator is senator. The minister is minister.
The senator is always a senator.
Distinguished senator, that is man and Honorable Jason. And all the other dignitaries that are here, I won't mention one that we hear from. Something remarkable for me is that happened this morning. When I said I'm going to do this, I was mandate by DG this morning. He said, now, whenever you go out there, you must write what you're going to say. I said, DG, I don't write what I say. He said, you must put it in writing. So this one, we must write it and give you, read it. I said, DG, I've not done this before, so how can I start reading now? He said, well, that's I'm the DG. So you have to obey me until, so I said, if I start reading it, but let me thank you, all of you that are gathered here, especially the press. This event was supposed to take place yesterday, and I sincerely apologize. I went to Maiduguri, and we couldn't make it as scheduled for one reason or the other. So I apologize for those of you who were involved yesterday. What we are going to do here today is very simple. And I thank you for being witnessed to this our journey of taking back Nigeria. What we are doing here today, after months, weeks and months, we've gone around, consulted, searched around, to look for, like the chairman had said, somebody who will fit the bill of what we're trying to do. And I'm about to tell you that we have been able to meet and secure somebody who is eminently qualified. Eminently qualified. Fit the bill to be the vice president of Nigeria. I know people will say, you're not there yet. But I can tell you, I know where we're going. This is our march to secure, unite, and make Nigeria productive. And you can't do it without having people who have similar vision, similar idea, and are prepared for that onerous task. I have very distinctive honor to present to you somebody I can call a friend, a younger brother, because I'm senior, which is what I've said also. A younger brother, and God willing, the next vice president of Nigeria. In the name of Senator Yusuf Datti Baba-Ahmed, who have been described as one of the brightest, youngest personalities in Nigeria that has distinguished himself in all areas. He brings to this mission a great wealth of experience from the background of a private sector to public sector and a global knowledge that will help in our journey of turning around this country. Our country is facing so many challenges, which I would not want to mention here because we're just here to introduce our vice presidential candidate. But I will not be doing a great service to our country if I do not mention some of those. We're today the poverty capital of the world. We're today hugely indebted. And I've said in my interview a few days ago, we're actually about to default in our debt servicing, which will just trigger us into junk status. I pray it doesn't happen. But that is where we are. By the end of this year, we will need 100% of our revenue will not be enough to service our debts. That is where we've gotten ourselves into. Our people are hungry. They're angry. And all this is cumulative effect of bad leadership. And we've decided to halt this collapse, to stop this drift. We made this choice, and that he has sat down and discussed. And I said to him, what we are doing is not just two of us. We're bringing all Nigerians into this big tent where everybody will be involved, because we want to end the primitive politics of ethnicity, religion, and all sorts of things. Like I've said, show me where in the north where there's uninterrupted electricity. Show me where people are not hungry. Show me where there's no poverty in the north. Show me where people are prospering and industries. Unemployment is not in the north. Show it to me in the south. There's none. But politicians give excuse because it's from here. What we want now is to replace all that with competence and merit. And that is why I said to my younger brother, this is not a journey where you think anybody is boss. We will soon select a team too, because not just two of us. Chairman said two of us. Chairman is not two of us. I've governed the state. We're going to have a team of people who will join us to be able, if we succeed, to be able to build a Nigerian that would desire to start bringing people to have faith in their country, to have hope, to be proud to call Nigeria their own. And that is what we want to do. And Datti is coming with the same background that the two of us will be able to start this process. Now that we have completed this cycle of nominations, we will soon, in the next few days, more weeks, be able to come out with policies, a manifesto that will be anchored on the 17 SDG position. Because we must rescue this country. We must ensure that this country is secured, this country is united, and this country is productive. It's been done in every country of the world, emerging country of the world. So, it is not rocket science. It just requires a background. It requires, so my dear people, in the coming months, in the coming days, you'll be hearing from me, you'll be hearing from the Vice President. There's something that Lord Daddy has said. They said to me, in this country, is a place people say to me, no, maybe you're talking too much. I said, no. Everybody in the world who is running campaign is talking too much because people want to hear you. You know, people even say, I said, why do you have to write a manifesto? Written constitution. So listen to me and take note. Let those who are competing come and say who they are and take note. There's no need giving you a glossy paper which we don't know what is written on it. Hear from our mouth so we can tell you what we want to do. So in the coming months, we will be telling you what we're going to do. And we want you to take note and hold us responsible. I go everywhere and said, we must save her. We're young, we're energetic, we're prepared to unleash the ingenuity, resourcefulness, and the energy of the young ones in this country. Because that's where our capital is. We are committed to turning all those vast land in the north into the oil of the future. I was flying from Maiduguri yesterday into Abuja, and I turned round to somebody who was on my left, the Papa Nuncio in Nigeria, and I said, let me tell you, show you the problem of this country. He said, how? He said, just watch. From Maiduguri to Abuja, we saw vast empty land, all cultivated. I said, there's nowhere in the world you can fly like this. It will be farmland. That is our oil. And we must turn it into oil. Oil is a diminishing asset. We must unlock the new assets, which is the land. Our people will go back there to be productive. America, the richest state in America is California, not Texas. It has twice the GDP of Texas, 3.3 trillion. Texas is 1.8. It's not oil, it's agriculture. It's production. Kanu and Kaduna is processing center. We will unlock what the ports can do in Port Harcourt. It's a transshipment port that can generate enough income. We have people in Aba that can do the shoe and the clothing that Vietnam is doing and earning $something billion a year. It must stop. This country must produce. And that's what we're going to do. That's what Datti comes with his background. He can't have PhD in economics for nothing. It is to be utilized. And I'm coming from that background. He's been a successful businessman, a successful private sector. I want both of us to leave the confines of our success in private sector and do it in the public. That's what we're doing today. Finally, my dear people, I'm showing you the team. As I'm looking around, I'm seeing members of the team around here. It's not just going to be two of us. It's not our election. that your election. Yes. It is Nigeria. Yes. The structures are you. Those who tell you about structure, tell them your children, your family, you are the structures. It is time. They cannot continue to scare us with those words. We will take back our country. Yes. And let them, we will even convert them into the structures we have. Their structures will be our structures. Yes. They will follow us. Yes. So, my dear people, let me once again introduce and present Senator Dr. Datti Baba-Ahmed. Thank you.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the party makes us strong. Labour Party forever. Please, let's have the incoming Vice President of Nigeria, Senator Dr. Datti Baba-Ahmed, to make a remark to us. Thank you.
Chairman of Labour Party, sir, and your honorable and capable executives. By the grace of Almighty Allah, the next President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Peter Obi. Friends, associates, the media force, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to begin by uploading my endless praises to Almighty Allah, who gives power to who He wills, when He wills, and how He wills. I thank Almighty Allah for bringing us to where we are and what we are doing here and now. More so, I remain ever so grateful and indebted to my leader, my principal, my president-to-be. That's so. And his team, who worked diligently, researched, and found me wanting. I remain forever humbled and appreciative of this consideration. My task is simple, and it is to accept this nomination and this candidacy. Just before I do that, I should normally give justification as follows. The undeniable, unchallengeable, fundamental reason for being on this ticket is to rescue Nigeria. And it goes logically and without saying that you can only rescue that which is in trouble. Nigeria is in a great deal of trouble. I cannot afford not to be part of the movement to rescue Nigeria. The second reason is that I believe in the greatness of Nigeria. I believe there will be peace and prosperity. I believe Nigerian people will unite. In fact, let me deviate a bit. Having come from educational background, I belong to the system in which you walk into a classroom, after 1 hour you come out a changed person. Ever since I met His Excellency Peter Obi, I've been changing every time we sit. There is a message I'm going to carry, and I'll continue to disseminate that. And you only get this message from somebody who is knowledgeable, somebody who researches. When I hear a new thing, I know it. When I hear a valuable thing, I know it. And I cannot let it pass. The fertile land in the north is the crude oil of Nigeria. I mean, how much more nationalist can you be? How much more detribalized can you be to say this? I see a brighter future for Nigeria from such comments. Then I want to justify from the angle of the individuals. He who was motivated by success in the private sector and fought and became a governor for 8 years. And since after those 8 years has maintained integrity and honor to this date, is one that will not fail in campaign promises. Yes. Peter Obi. He who believes in financial propriety will not engage in political rascality. Peter Obi. He who believes in credibility and integrity in the matter of who to associate with will not mismanage personal, human, and community relations. Peter Obi. Your Excellency, this is a high point in my life. This is a high point in my career. And I think this is pivotal and a turning point. Having said this, with all trust to Almighty Allah, with my belief that I am doing this for the sake of Nigeria, with all humility, I accept your generous nomination to serve as Vice Presidential candidate in Labour Party for 2023 elections. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I thought you were going to say that I told you that have a lady for money.
Congratulations. Victory for us. In the struggle for Nigeria. There is victory for us. Forward, forward, ever. Backward, never. In the struggle for Nigeria. There is victory. Aluta, aluta, continua. Aluta, continua. Aluta, 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 continua. Victoria, Victoria, Asata. Victoria, Asata. Victoria, 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 Asata. Thank you very much. We have come to this.
Yes, they're already thinking about how to create alternatives to revenue generation in this country. Because our problem is that we don't produce anything, to expand our GDP. That's why the country is suffering without any means of hoping to get out of trouble. Until we begin to convert the large arable lands God gave Nigeria into agricultural production, Nigeria will continue to look for money. So they are prepared. Mr. Obi just flew from Maiduguri to Abuja yesterday, and he was able to observe the large landmass in northern Nigeria. That land is enough to feed the nation. That land is enough to make money for Nigeria through exports. We don't have any exports. Nigeria has a very bad balance sheet. our balance of payment is very terrible. You continue to import things and you don't export anything. A country that is like that will never survive. That is why we have hope in this movement, and that's why we're here. Yes. It is only when you succeed that you talk to the public. And now, the vice presidential candidate has been showcased, and he is the best among all the vice presidential candidates already mentioned in Nigeria. You can't beat him. The presidential candidate we have is the best in Nigeria. We have the best vice presidential candidates. Why can't Nigerians trust these two personalities God has given us? And look at their age. If you look at their age, you know that these are people who are going to work. Both of them are below 62 years. Mr. Obi is just 61, and this is a younger brother of his. So Nigeria has enough energy in them to work. Not when people are expiring, we want them to lead. We cannot do that in this country anymore. I was in a program the other day, somebody was asking me about the structure and the platform. I told them that the platform is less important than the electorate, people who will cast these votes. It is the voters that will decide who becomes president, vice president, governors, senators, House of Rep members, House of Assembly members, and anything in a democracy, not the platform. Because if you have a strong platform and the people are not ready to vote for you, you are dead. So this is a party that holds so much promise for the nation. You have listened to two of them, and you cannot go wrong giving them your mandate. So I appeal Nigerians to go and get registered and collect their PVs. Those who have not done that, while those ones are talking about their structures that will collapse very soon, then we will be building people who will cast these votes and vote them out. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dowsing that classification about north-south, each time I am, described and classified from the north or from the south, it shakes me a bit. Well, if you call me a northerner, I have never said about the north what today a southerner said about the north. So yes, the only things I'm bringing is consistency with the characters and the contents of the team that have selected me.
As someone who comes from an educational background, because that is the
oh yes, well now that
you see a higher budget for education, are there some of the things that we're going to be looking at?
Now that you're specific about education, I can tell you that it is one area we will insulate and protect the procurement system in the educational sector. Of course, it is purely under the, directives of Mr. President. But I already know, and that's why I agreed, that he has displayed a flair for education. Then the appointments, right from the councils to the leadership in those universities, will as much as possible be devoid of unnecessary political considerations. I can almost assure you 100% that you will not see our universities going on strike. That is a high crime, and we will do everything possible, and we will go the extra miles to ensure that Mr. President will never allow this to happen for as long as he and I. I cannot sleep with universities being on strike. It doesn't add up. Then the quality of education, right from the syllabus. We're going to update Nigerian syllabus, bring it up to speed in contents and course types. Right now, we are not consistent with the conversion from consumption to production that His Excellency is speaking about. See more money going into engineering. See more money and equipment going into building environmental sciences and more so into health sciences. Then the academic practices. Every teacher is going to be a learner or a student in his own self. Gone are the days where when you become a lecturer for the rest of your life, you will only be brushing. You're going to be updating yourself every maximum of 24 months. If you do not update yourself, we begin to show you your way out of teaching. Nigerian educational system is going to add and it will reflect in the value of our naira. Nigerian quality of education will reflect in the security that you see and that you feel around us, because education is underwriting every aspect of human life.
What we intend to do about security, the only thing I can tell you is that you will see a decisive steps for securing Nigeria. And I've said in general terms, the more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. It's been tested everywhere in the world. And I give examples of countries. Go to all the Asian countries, go to South American countries, from Brazil to Mexico. The more you, Colombia, the more you reduce, put people out of, the more you reduce criminality. I've taken time to go around, interviewed even kidnappers that are arrested and everything. And I have an idea. And we're always discussing what to do. It's like the first question when somebody asks about the education. And what the accent is precisely what it should be. Because the more people are educated, the more development your economy is.
Part of the reasons I'm working with His Excellency. Before 2015, there is an estimated statistic which has not yet been officiated. The average Nigerian was more than 20 kilometers away from an illegal firearm. Now, today, the typical Nigerian is less than 2 kilometers away from an illegal firearm. What we will work with when His Excellency puts the team is to give Nigeria that confidence. You can kickstart your car from any part of Nigeria, guaranteed, and drive to any part of Nigeria. There's a certain blessing that we know. If you liberate Nigerians, leave them to go and make their living, and they'll do it well. So we'll underwrite it by giving that guarantee of sorts that now you can go to anywhere. Go to your farmlands and walk, travel at night and exchange your merchandise. It is key, have it in mind, that we want to give psyche from that fear to the feeling that, yes, now I can travel. I can live in peace. The first thing I need to do is not secure my windows and doors because I don't trust Nigerians. They'll come and attack me at night. When they walk from morning to night, they're already tired. They can't come in the middle of the night, attack you, and steal. And that's exactly what His Excellency is. We want to keep everybody busy from morning to night so that others at night can sleep well.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Let me tell you about corruption. Because we make corruption look as if it's something impossible to deal with. But I can tell you straight away, if you, the principal person, the local government chairman, the governor, the president, you are not corrupt yourself, as you're not stealing, you're not part of it, your family is, those around you are not, you reduce it by 70%. And I've challenged everybody, because you have to put your own, for other people to start putting their own. And I've challenged everybody, go and show me anybody who is a civil servant, who was a contractor, who was a supplier, who said that in my 8 years of being in government in Anambra State, I sat down with him and said, add 1 naira to this, and I will resign, I won't continue with this. Not one person will tell you that. Because that's it. That was why we were able to save 70-something billion naira. Go and read what my head of service, my former head of service said. He said, he wrote an article, Stinginess as a Development Strategy. Because whatever money I saved when the civil servants were arguing with me, when I now started paying them their dues, their leave allowance, their this, they were asking me, where did you get the money? I said it was the money that I saved from these things. You people were saying, oh guys, you're difficult, that I'm using to pay you. Go and show me where I was even, you've even seen it being circulated, where I benefited even one piece of land from Anambra State as governor, directly or indirectly. So if you are not doing it, you reduce it. And I have somebody who has the same mindset that public money should be used for public good. We're not saints, but I can assure you that we are not going to. As for probing the past government, let me tell you, you've seen me argue it, that you can't close your shop and be chasing thieves. Those who look yesterday and today will miss tomorrow. God did not give us eye at the back. We'll deal with some of those issues at the back. But mine is to look forward. If you come into government today and decide that to stop the leakage first, you will get more and progress more than looking back. Not that it won't look back, but it will be done decently, in organized manner. I am not going to be party or part of any form of victimization or witch hunt or anything. It will never happen. Nigerians must live within law and order and everything. And when you talk about the vast land in the north, I've given you examples upon examples. Let me take the states individually just to show you an example. Niger State is 76.3 square kilometers of land. Just Niger State here. That state cannot feed itself. That state can produce all the rice and everything that we need. 76.3 thousand square kilometers. They can't feed themselves. They're not producing anything. Netherlands, 33,000 square kilometers, did last year export of agricultural goods, 120 billion. And we have a place, and then winter, we have a place 2.5 times that can't feed itself. It's unacceptable. Look at Taraba, 54.6 square kilometers of land. They're looking to sharing money from nowhere. Money will go from where? If you go to Taraba, look at the Mambela Plateau. You can grow coffee there. You can grow tea. You can grow flour. Kenya did flour export of over $500 million last year. The young people who picked flowers in Kenya was there. I paid $100. Young people, not graduates. And Kenya have less than 10% unemployment. And you have 30-something%. They're not growing flour there. I was in Ethiopia. They're growing tea. Total tea export from Kenya, Ethiopia last year is $1.1 billion. We have a place there. They're not growing tea. We're still importing tea. Sierra Leone, with all their trouble, exported tea $1.4 billion last year. We have a place we can grow tea. Imagine if Taraba can earn 10% of these figures are called now. It's about $300 million, which is about 200 billion naira. When their budget is 100, we will change it. That's why I said we have oil there. And people are looking for the oil that is not nowhere to be found. The money we earn from oil today cannot even pay for the imports. But that we are going to deal with it, because when we deal with the refinery, Nigeria will be the next exporter of oil. But that's going to come. So when we say the vast land in the north is the oil of the future, it is oil, it's everywhere. So it's very simple. You're talking about Borno State. Borno State is 70.9 thousand square kilometers, call it 71,000 square kilometers of land, including that forest. That place you call forest is farmland. It's farmland. The reason why people are hiding there, because you're not producing anything there. If you turn it into farmland and people live there and you are producing, the forest becomes contributor to the growth of the nation, and you can do it. And it's been done everywhere in the world. We want to be the food basket of Africa, of the world. And that's what we want to achieve. We're not going to do it overnight, but we want to form a partner to start moving in the right direction. Nigerians are people who have faith and hope in the right thing, because they can see them every day energetic.
Yes, I am in total agreement that we're not going to engage in witch hunting. And the first thing to do in real war against corruption is run a transparent government, at least for a couple of months. I assure you, by the time His Excellency decides, we have put all the checks in place, especially the procurement system, especially the leaks in our revenue generation. There is no extortion from anybody. Nobody is converting Nigeria's wealth. Nobody is paying tens of hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to see the president. No, but once he pulls those and says, all right, please let us find out what we can get from the past, I assure you, you will come to realize that the amount, the quantum of money that will be recovered is staggering, it's unbelievable. You see, we do not subscribe to mediocrity. You simply use the fact that somebody has integrity that has not yet been proven. I have also said that jailing people recklessly does not give credibility to anybody. And it is not a pointer that when you are in government, there will be no corruption in your government. It was assumed, people just assumed that there was integrity. But in reality, was there? No. We began to know if there was real integrity when they came into government. And we're sorry for it today. Whenever His Excellency decides that we have put all the safety measures in place, please, for the sake, we want to finance the return to the farmlands. We want to finance the infrastructure. You know, the war against insecurity, while we are making efforts to increase our revenue, we think there is more we can get from the past. You will get to realize that in the first 2 years, what we will recover from the past is going to compete with what we're, because the figures are unbelievable. $90 billion borrowed. We don't see any reasonably completed capital projects, and we're still paying those loans. The corruption is unimaginable. And I believe from the bottom of his heart, from the pity, he will prioritize the pity and the love for Nigeria over, you know, not looking back. It is necessary to look back. We have been part of those people that thought they had integrity until that accident in 2015 happened. And, you know, all these things are happening. Corruption. Nigeria has never had it so bad. I repeat, the worst form of corruption is a fake war against corruption, and that is what we'll be facing. We are coming into place to ensure genuine anti-corruption steps.
Thank you, sir.
Well, let me, my reaction is very simple. For me, we're campaigning, we're going to the people of Nigeria, and we're offering ourselves to them. I'm not in position to say or answer what this person said or that person said. Soludo is a friend, is a brother. If I campaign and the people of Anambra State said, I don't have a chance, they will determine. That is 2023 issue. But I assure you that we're campaigning. We're offering ourselves. And I'm sure he will vote for me.
Thank you. Yes. Go on.
Issue of mortality is one that is worrisome. You know why it's worrisome? You know today Nigeria have the highest infant mortality in the world. And you know why it's even more painful? We were expected to have overtaken India, in 2025. But we have actually overtaken them now. India is 1.4 billion and we're 200. And we have overtaken them. It is unacceptable. We'll deal with, when we talk about development, which I'm sure Dr. Datti knows very well, is hinged on three things: health, education, and per capita. So you can't deal with health without dealing with that issue. On issue of women, Let me tell you. Today in Nigeria, that 50% engine of development needs to be unlocked. When we talk about the progressive and emerging countries doing well, go and study what women have been able to do. And I'll give you an example. Bangladesh is today globally the biggest exporter of garments. Globally. They exported last year $36 billion worth of garments. If you go to Bangladesh, 60 to 70% of those who are involved in this garment manufacturing for export are women. I've been there. Everywhere I've visited, I was there. Went from one village to the other. So imagine what you would do when you unleash this. And you know, empowering women is empowering a family. It's empowering everything. They will care for their husband. They will care for their children. They will care for everything. So it's a critical, when we talk about pulling people out of poverty, we're actually talking about bringing inclusiveness of women in the development agenda. And it will come in everywhere. And again, you can go and look at where I've been before. Whenever I talked about I did well in Anambra State, remember what I always said. I said I was surrounded by women who are tough. My chief of staff is a woman. My head of service is a woman. My accountant general, commissioner for finance, commissioner for local government, commissioner for education. I was surrounded by them. In fact, when I was governor, I was trying to put Ministry of Men Affairs because they just took over. They said, no, this women affairs cannot continue. They must have men affairs because, so for me, it's a critical thing. And I'm sure, like I keep saying, I'm dealing with somebody who understands economic development. And we're not going to work, you know, when they said he will be on directive of the president. We're not going to have such. We're going to have a team of people where I will say to them what I've said to people all over. If you people agree with me in 3 meetings, everybody will go because you don't have your own idea. You must disagree with me because I don't know everything. Anybody who knows everything, I don't work with the person. It's a learning process. There are things he's teaching me. There are things that I'm teaching him. I even told him things that are personal to me. Since we met, I told him certain things. I told him I have allergy for money being wrongly spent. You know.
All right, sir.
Okay. Those questions started coming up, even from Masaba. So we have answered again and again and again. I think you in the media should also assist us in building our structure. Like they said, you are part and parcel of the structure. I want to say very clearly, this country is failing, and it takes men of goodwill, patriotic citizens to team up together to rescue the country. I think it is a responsibility of Nigerians and our own responsibility to team up together to change the narratives in Nigeria. So I urge you to join the party as workers, team up with us, and rescue the country. So I put it back to you. Join us and be part of the structure. Thank you very much.
There's only one party in Nigeria now that is on a fertile green land. Labour. There is only party that is probably, as we sit now, is at between 5 to 10% of its potential. Labour Party. If from when His Excellency Governor Peter Obi joined, Labour can be what it is today. 1 month only. Try and imagine the rest. It pains me that Nigerians, for that matter in the position of leaders, are speaking the way they speak, the kind of insults they send. And why are they doing that? There's only one reason. They are scared.
Yeah,
No. They are scared. Why are they scared? Because we're going to reform Nigeria. I so submit. You are asking my principal.
Let me just plead with you about the issue of education. Because it was very exhaustive when he talked about the education. But in my own case, I always deal with what I call statistics. Today, Nigerian human capital is 152 over 158. That means we're very low in human capital. All these things you're saying, when we come in, education will be priority 1, priority 2, because when you get education right, you build human infrastructure. You remember that people have challenged me that said that infrastructure cannot drive development. I said they were wrong. What I said that for you to build the physical infrastructure, you first have to build the human infrastructure.
Obviously.
Because that's the engine that will drive the physical infrastructure.
Obviously.
So all these things, what we're going to do in education, I can assure you Nigerians will be impressed. And I've said it, I did it as a governor, where I took as schools from 26 to number 1, and if you might know, Anambra State University today is the only state university that is not functional. Because when they came to me, I said, what do you want? I don't want university closed. And that was my support. And you saw them in the video saying it. In fact, there was a video yesterday that was trending of a young girl that I went to their school of psychiatry. I came to their school, and I said, you're a child of students union. He said, what do you want in this school? What is your distance? He told me, and within 1 year, we set it up. We're going to deal with the issue of education. And let's just see, as we go along, we'll be talking with you people. Even when Dr. Datti has been very fantastic on that, his comments on structure, I've continued to say 100 million Nigerians are living in poverty. Is our structure. That's 100 million people. That's something million that is unemployed. Is our structure.
Thank you, sir.
All those pensioners that are being owed pension is our structure.
Thank you, sir.
So this structure you're talking is including you,
Exactly.
including your wife and everybody, because they can no longer go to market and buy food. These are our structures. These hungry Nigerians are our structure. So even those who are in power, they're all our structures. Because they will see that they can no longer do anything. Now you see how the structure will come in. So thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.